This is the story The Invisible Bridge, written by François Sever Silva, part of the collection Stories That Bring Us Closer. Before we begin, take a moment to think about someone you love very much in your family. Now, imagine a beautiful bridge made of kindness, gentle words, and all the care you have for each other, connecting your hearts like a warm, shining light. This story is dedicated to all the families out there who learn every single day that building bridges of love is so much more beautiful and rewarding than building walls of silence. It's for everyone who chooses connection over distance. João and Marina were siblings, a brother and a sister who seemed to argue about everything under the sun. They liked different games, had very different personalities, and even moved at different rhythms. João was always rushing, and Marina preferred to take her time. Slowly, without anyone really noticing at first, all these little differences started to build an invisible wall between them, a wall that made them feel far apart even when they were in the same room. Their parents noticed the growing silence and tried their best to help. They would suggest games they could play together or ask about their day, hoping to spark a conversation. But often, at the dinner table, silence replaced the sound of laughter that used to fill their home. The space between João and Marina felt wider and colder, and the invisible wall grew taller and stronger with each passing day. One night, João had a vivid and unsettling dream. He found himself standing on the bank of a wide, deep blue river. The water moved quickly, and on the other side he could see Marina. She was calling his name, her voice sounding distant and faint, carried away by the wind. He wanted to reach her, but the river was too wide to cross. The feeling of separation was overwhelming. Suddenly, in the dark dream sky, a single shining star appeared. It glowed with a gentle, comforting light. Then, a soft voice seemed to whisper from the star, speaking directly to João's heart. It told him that only a very special kind of bridge, an invisible bridge, could reunite hearts that had drifted apart. A bridge not made of wood or stone, but of something much more powerful. The next day, still thinking about his dream, João saw Marina struggling to find the right color for her drawing. He hesitated for just a second, then walked over and offered her his favorite red pencil, the one he rarely shared. Marina looked up, surprised. A small, genuine smile spread across her face as she took it, and that simple, unexpected smile felt like the very first stone of the invisible bridge being placed firm and solid. That night, João dreamed of the river again. But this time, something was different. Right in the middle of the flowing water, a small golden stone was glowing with a warm, steady light. It was just one stone, but it was a start. It was a sign that his small act of kindness had made a real difference, beginning a path where there had been only an empty space before. The next day at school, during snack time, Marina noticed that João had already finished his snack and still looked hungry. She broke her last cookie in half and held a piece out to him. "Want some?" she asked. John took it, and as they ate their pieces together, they both felt a warmth spreading between them, a quiet understanding that didn't need any words. Something was definitely changing, and in John's dream that night, another glowing stone appeared right next to the first one. Together, they formed a fragile but growing path across the dark water. The bridge was still small and had many gaps, but it was getting longer. The connection was growing stronger, one kind gesture at a time, reaching out across the river that had separated them. A few days later, John arrived at school and realized with a sinking feeling that he had forgotten his history notebook at home. He started to panic, imagining the trouble he would be in. Seeing his worried face, Marina immediately opened her bag, pulled out her own notebook, and slid it across the desk to him. "We can share," she whispered with a grin. A moment that could have been embarrassing turned into a shared secret, and they both burst into quiet laughter. That night, the dream was brighter than ever before. John saw the bridge of light stretching almost all the way across the river. It was nearly complete, each golden stone glowing intensely, casting a beautiful, radiant path over the water. He could see Marina waving from the other side, her smile clear and bright. They were so close to reaching each other. But then, one afternoon, disaster struck. While playing, John accidentally knocked over Marina's favorite toy, a delicate music box, and it broke. The happy mood in the house shattered instantly. The argument that followed was loud and painful, filled with angry shouts, hot tears, and a heavy, suffocating sadness that pushed them far apart once more. The invisible wall felt thicker than ever. In his dream that night, John watched in horror as the beautiful bridge of light began to crack. Fissures spread across the golden stones, and its warm glow started to fade and flicker. He saw chunks of the bridge crumble and fall into the dark river below. A deep ache filled his heart, a terrible fear of losing the bridge and his sister forever. The next morning, the house was quiet and tense. John couldn't bear the feeling. He walked up to Marina, his heart pounding. "I'm so sorry I broke your music box," he said quietly. "It was an accident." Marina looked at him, her eyes still sad, and whispered, "I'm sorry I yelled at you." In that moment, they both chose the bridge over the wall. They chose each other. That night, John dreamed his most wonderful dream yet. The bridge of light was whole again, but not just whole, it was complete, solid, and stronger than it had ever been. It shone with a brilliant, unbreakable light that lit up the entire river. He and Marina ran towards each other from opposite ends and met in the middle, their hands clasping in a joyful reunion. From that day on, life wasn't always perfect. They still had disagreements, and sometimes they still got on each other's nerves, because that's what siblings do. But they had learned a powerful secret. Every time a crack appeared, they knew how to fix it. A kind word, a shared laugh, and a heartfelt apology always rebuilt their bridge, making it stronger each time. Arguments and misunderstandings can build walls between people we love, making us feel distant and alone. But simple, loving gestures, shared cookie, a helping hand. A sincere apology build invisible bridges of connection, bridges that can last forever and withstand any storm. Thank you for listening to our story. And please remember, every sincere apology you offer and every act of kindness you share is another golden stone, strengthening the precious bridges between your heart and the hearts of those you love.